Hey, everybody, welcome to the CNC Side Hustle Show, number 7. I can't believe this is number 7. We've made it to lucky number 7, my favorite number. We've got a packed show tonight. I already see people in the chat. Thank you for being here and welcome in. So, as always, we bring something new, we bring something fresh. We've got that tonight in a segment called Trendy Trends. Yes, this was inspired by one of our longtime community members, B, with B's Boards. And it was some of her input, and it was her idea. So if it goes terribly wrong, it's all her. It's her fault. If it goes great, well, she gets credit. So we're going to be doing that. So don't miss that. That's the third segment we've got tonight. We're going to be looking at current project trends, looking at current opportunities and different trends. It's something that I've done before, and I think you're going to like it. And then, of course, we're bringing back, last week we didn't have it, but this week we're bringing back the Spindle Spin. That's right. One person is going to get a spin on the Spindle Spin. But you've got to be present to win. Let me repeat that because we've had some issues with that in the past. You've got to be present to win, okay? So that'll be coming up in a little while, and I'll tell you how to enter. But first, if you're new here, if this is your first time, welcome. 7 years ago, I started with a CNC with zero experience. And now I help makers like you make projects, make cool projects, make awesome projects, and turn them into money. We started this show, like I said, 7 shows ago now, 6 shows ago. Now this is the 7th. And we started it to spark new ideas, to inspire you. My number one goal, my absolute number one goal with this show is that you are pumped up, you've got a new idea, you're inspired to get out in the shop and create on your CNC. My number one goal. So welcome, both new and returning guests. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to jump in the chat here and see who we got in here tonight. We've got Johnny's here from Mississippi. Barry, welcome in. From Floresville, I think I said that right. Pineapples Barbecue is in the house. Man, he makes me hungry every time. From Florida. That's the Space Coast. Nice. Who else we've got in here? We've got Corey. We've got Philip. We've got Ronnie. Welcome, Ronnie. Kevin, welcome in. Oh no. We got the Death Ninja in the house. I don't know who that is, but hello from Illinois. Death Ninja. Good stuff. So, real quick, before we get going to the show, I want to show you a couple projects that I've been making. If you follow me on social media, Instagram at AndyBirdBuilds, or Facebook, or YouTube on the community chats, you may have seen this. I've been posting a little bit over the last week of doing some inlays. Or, how did I forget this? Or if you're in the Discord community, our Discord community of over 1,200 CNCers that are in there. And there'll be a link down below. If you're not a part of it, it's completely free. You need to join us there. And so this is actually, I'm not going to show you my first attempt because I threw it away. Okay. But these are CNC wood inlays, face grain inlays. Long story, but face grain inlays can be difficult and to get perfect. So here's my first one. Anybody else resonate with this one? Coffee makes me poop. There's a couple gaps. I'm okay with this being my first attempt. Like, it is acceptable. Technically my second attempt. But then I went on to something a little bit bigger. Went on to this Rhino. Doesn't that look flawless from far? But if you get closer, which you can't, just trust my eyes, there's some chip out up at the top here. And I had to do a good job of, I actually filled that back in. And kind of this whole top edge, there's a gap there. Yeah, I filled it. It's okay. But let me show you the crown jewel. Now, shout out to Broen Wood, Nick from Broen Wood. If you don't follow his work, he is an inlay expert. So he started with CNC the same time I did, a little over 7 years ago. But the only thing he's done in 7 years is wood inlays. on a CNC, and he has mastered it. So we did this one. Check that out. Isn't that cool? So this is obviously walnut and maple. Soft maple, which is even more difficult. We had literally, we have two spots where we have like a pinhead chip out. And but overall, it is fabulous. Inlays are one of those things that it blows my mind. Blows my mind. Anyways, so I've been working on inlays and practicing inlays because it's going to be part of my new upcoming course. Yes, if you've followed me on social media or in Discord, you've seen me talk about the CNC Kickstart. I can't share too much about it, but we've been working extremely, extremely hard on it. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. The only thing I can give you right now is it's going to kickstart your journey to CNC, or kickstart your journey on CNC, or it's going to kickstart your CNC. Something along those lines.
Hey, so real quick, Pineapple actually said that he needs that pineapple cutting board.
Oh yeah. Hey, who's talking? Who's the man behind the curtain? So Eric is over here. If you don't know, Eric is running the show. Literally, we can hold hands if we wanted to. We're sitting that close. So yeah, there you go. So Eric is running this thing and making me look good. So Pineapple needs the pineapple. I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Makes a lot of sense. So really cool stuff. Yeah. So the CNC Kickstart is going to be coming soon. It's going to be really good. There's like I said, and I'm not blowing it out. I don't overhype things. It's actually a bad thing. When you're in business for yourselves, you should hype things up. It's really hard for me to overhype things or hype things up, but I'm excited about this. There's nothing else out there like it. Nothing exists. There's not a competitor to it. And it's going to be great. Coming summer 2025. All right. So be on the lookout for more information there. So what do you say? Should we get into the first segment? All right. Let's jump into it. All right, welcome to Tool of the Week. Cha, cha, cha. Why don't you play that song, Eric? All right, Tool of the Week. Self-explanatory. Well, good segment though, where we talk about and I share one of my favorite tools in the shop, and I try to keep them different. Try to keep them useful. Something that'll make your life easier. So. This sander right here is a detail sander from Milwaukee. There are other ones out there, but I will say this is obviously battery operated. Of the cordless tool, the major cordless tool brands, I do not believe anybody has anything exactly like this. So what makes this special? Well, it's a vibrating sander, vibrating head, and it has this head on it. It comes to a point, comes to an angle here. These are replaceable, so it's dusty. You can tell I used it. So here's the sandpaper, and then here is the pad on it. And you can take that pad off if you wanted to, but it helps with contours, obviously. And so different grit sandpaper. And what I use this for actually sets really nicely right there. Nice. Look at that. Good job, Milwaukee. So what I use this for is detail sanding, but specifically in trays, in the concave area of trays, of getting into them. Anybody ever try to sand the inside of a tray with a random orbital sander or a square head sander, whatever those things are called? It's really hard to get into those concave areas in the bottom, the corners, to get into the corners of the trays. So this makes it very, very easy, and I highly recommend it. This makes sanding so much faster. Now, I'm speaking from experience here. When I had that wholesale contract this was years ago now, but for the soap dispenser trays and the cracker trays, I did not have this sander. It would have saved me so much time. I can't even tell you how much time. I hand sanded the interior of those things, and it was miserable. So, yes, you do have to be on the Milwaukee platform. I know that might be a deal breaker for some people because who wants another battery, right? Another battery to charge. Another battery to charge. But if you're on the Milwaukee platform, I highly recommend you check this baby out. There'll be a link in the description below. But it's also just not a one-trick pony. It's not just for bowls and trays. I've used it. We were been doing some plywood projects lately and sanding the edges of plywood. I find myself reaching for it a lot. Anything, it's hard to like you could hand sand the edge of plywood, or you can use your random orbital sander, or that's kind of awkward. This just works really good for those tight detail areas where it may be awkward otherwise. So there'll be a link in the description if you want to learn more, if you want to pick one up, head to that link. But I highly recommend it. Let's head to the next segment. The fan favorite is back. Guess the price. So tonight we're going to be guessing the price of 4 products. And how this is going to work is Eric has picked 4 products, which scares me every week because I don't give him any guidelines. And he's like, hey, how do you make this, Andy? So I'm going to be surprised just like you all. So we'll go through it together. But what we're going to do is he's going to put a project up on the screen that he has found from the lovely internet, and we are going to guess the price. So yeah, did I hit it all? I think I hit it all. Okay, cool. Let's get into it.
Okay, our first item up is going to be this beautiful golf ball holder. It holds 22 golf balls, and it's roughly 18 inches by 13 inches. So this cool golf ball holder.
Sweet. All right, this is a unique one. I like this one because this is actually a very CNC-able, like CNC router. This is a very good product for a CNC router. So let us know in the comments, what do you think this is priced for? Again, online, no wrong answers. There is a right answer. I don't know it, but let's see here. I'm guessing that's walnut.
Yeah, I believe it's walnut.
Yep, it's walnut. I mean, you could stain pine, but that looks like walnut. Golf. Golfers spend money. Golfing's expensive, isn't it?
It is.
Let's see.
This might be cheaper than a greens fee at a golf course right now.
Ooh. Might be. Is that a clue?
Depends what golf course you go to.
I'm going to go $67. So what do we got in here? We got some 79s. All right. I said 67, 60s. Okay, we're kind of in the same area. We've got 120 up at the top end. 127.85. That's pretty exact. Did you look it up? Don't look it up. All right, Eric, hit us with it. $55. $55. What do y'all think about that? I think, honestly, I'm okay with that as long as it doesn't include shipping. But we're not including
somebody who got it right on.
We did?
Yep.
Mike the man. MS Manual. Good job, Mike. Nice. Anybody else? We got some 60s in here. Got a few 60s. 50. Johnny had 50. All right. I mean, I think it's a little cheap for something this unique, but I also think I'm fine with that because you're talking one profile toolpath and drilling some holes. A piece of walnut. Honestly, I probably wouldn't make it out of walnut. I probably would make it out of pine, and they might even, it's hard to tell on the computer, but they may have made it out of pine and burn it. Done some shashugiban or something like that. But a piece of felt, I think is a really, really cool idea. So, all right, let's move to the next one. Good job, Mike.
Okay, this is a walnut wall clock. It's 10 inch by 10 inch. It does have dovetails with satin wood inlays on it.
This is pretty high end. All right. Whew, a lot of material cost here. A lot of material cost. This is designer. So they better. This is one that's gonna make me mad. You know, I know it. This one, This one should sell for $199, but it's gonna sell for like $79. I know it. I hope I'm wrong, but yeah, we're scattered. We got 150, 200, 198. I like what you guys are thinking. 79. Barry, I'm not gonna be surprised. Kelvin says 90. Mike, is Mike on a hot streak? Is he gonna go 2 for 2?
Maybe.
All right, we'll see. What about I'm gonna go.
We got 127.85 again.
Ooh, okay, all right. I'm gonna go 189. What do we got here? 165. Okay. Whew. I'm not gonna have to. I don't have to go on a rant now, so that's good. Still, it's okay. It's okay. I think. Again, but those material costs are going to be high. I know it's not huge, but again, we learn this lesson every week. Depends on your market, right? That's the interesting thing about selling online is in a way, everyone is your market unless you're very, very specific, right? But yeah, I think someone, just like anything, if you went to here's a quick story real quick. So I've got a friend who is a glass artist here locally. So broken glass, arranges it. It's like true art, and pours epoxy over it. Anyway, she did a craft show this last weekend. I talked to her. It was a 2-day event. And, what's the name of it? Anyways, it's in Louisville, Kentucky, and a very ritzy part of town. She does it every year. Guess how much money she made in 2 days in revenue? $11,000. $11,000. Broken glass. Beautiful art. Jen, you do beautiful work if you're watching this. that's not the point. But that's so, man, I'm so happy for her. That blows my mind though. So my point being, if you took a clock to that place, I think you can get more than that.
So you're saying I should buy up these clocks and then take them and sell them for $200 and just take the $40 each time.
Go for it, man.
Okay, here we go. Here's our next one.
All right. Oh, a beard brush.
Yeah, so this is, of course, walnut again. That's the theme of the day, I guess. Roughly 4 inches by 1.5 inches.
All right. We got some laser engraving, so we're breaking out the laser. I like the laser engraving to add some personalization. And that's very beardy. Is that a word? It's very beardish. That kind of design. So I'm going to go here. This is a really cool thing. Let's, I'm going to say 40. I think it's a $40 beard brush. People think they're like, you paid what for a beard brush? But I mean, this is legit, man. And it's kind of personalized. Maybe you could pick a design on it, but I think $40. What's everybody else thinking in here? We've got 20. We've got Ronnie says 50. GDS says 45. MS Manual 35. Mike Walden $14.99. You're not wrong, Mike. That it could be. Kelvin says 50. We got a 27.85 in here.
Yeah, he took the 1 off of it, so instead of 127.85, it's not just 27.85.
Nice. All right, Eric, hit us with it. What is it?
Here we go. Answer is $16.90. It's on sale. I think it was running something like $60 before the sale.
So what kind of nice? Okay, all right.
Maybe they just got too many of them.
Yeah, they're trying to clear out. But anyways, I $15 for this. Someone says 15, $14.99. You were on the right track. You're on the track. Yeah. Mike Walden said $14.99. $20. Daryl, good job. All right. That's cool. Who's going to make a beard brush? Raise your hand if you're going to make beard brushes. I don't think there's nothing wrong. I think it's a great niche product that could be very good.
Okay, here we go. Here's the next one.
This is the last one.
Our last one. So,
all right, what do we got here, Eric?
This is a walnut flag box. Of course, they can do tons of different, but it's got 3D relief carve going on the side there. They do have a medallion you see there that's attached to the front of the glass.
Okay.
It does have a suede backing on the inside.
Yep.
And they also, it doesn't show it in this picture, but they do offer the ability to have a name or something sandblasted into the glass, kind of lower bottom corner.
Okay. All right.
But really cool relief carve on there.
Nice. Yeah, that is really cool. And it's a really cool piece too, because you are doing that. I think it's a great technique when you are customizing individual pieces and then you assemble them into something, right? Because they did that relief carve on that single piece of wood and then cut it to size and assembled the box, which is a really neat thing because it just adds that intrigue. Like, how do you get that on the side to the average person, right?
Yeah, they had several different designs. I know they could do stuff depending on what branch of the military you were in as well.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. What does everybody think this is selling for? What would you price this at? Man, these are hard. These sentimental ones are hard. Because man, feeling what would someone pay for this? Is a really hard question. All right, I'm gonna say $220 is my guess. What else we got in here? All right, we got a $127.85 again. Danny says $145. Ronnie says $150. Kelvin $90. All right. Steve $99. Kevin says $95. Daryl $100. Okay, so I'm on the high end. Oh, Greg, you and I think alike. $220. All right, Greg, let's see if we're right. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah. I'm cheering not because I got it right, but because they're charging a lot of money. And I love when people charge a lot of money. I love when people make money. And so I hope they're selling 100 of these a week. Very cool. I think it's worth everything. That's why I said with emotional driven purchases, which most purchases are, but something like this that carries a lot of weight, that's going to be around a long time. There are people out there, obviously, that will not blink at dropping $400 on something like that because they know it's going to be around for a long time. So really cool piece. None of us, was 220 the highest?
Yeah, I think 220 was the highest.
The closest we were. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, excuse me. So I love doing this game. One, because it's just interaction to see what people say, and you all like it. But the takeaway is that prices and value is perceived differently by everyone. And so when it comes to pricing your work, don't think about what necessarily you would value it at or what you would pay for it, but think about the person that is going to buy it and what they're thinking, what they're feeling. And it's something that's very, very difficult, figuring out what your customer or how your customer values your piece. And because people value things differently. So the number one thing though, and I don't know if I said this on this show before, but I've said it in many YouTube videos, pricing is not a fixed thing. Don't think when you put a price on something, don't feel like you're committed to that price. Like you can change it, and do it tactfully. Not at a craft fair, erase it in front of people and quickly put another number on it. But the next day, I've been to many craft fairs where something wasn't moving, and one day, and the next day I lowered the price on it. So don't feel like you are pot committed when you price your items. If it's not resonating, now don't chase it all the time. But if you have a gut feeling or you have some intel, don't be afraid to change your price. It is a work in progress, especially when you're getting started. And it's okay. I mean, I have sold things where I have lost money. And there's a lot of different scenarios for that. Now, the goal is to learn from that and keep getting better through trial and error. So don't be afraid to make a mistake with pricing. Don't be afraid because value is perceived, and it changes all the time. So, but great job guessing prices. We had one right on tonight. Good job, Mike, MS Manual. Got one right. I think that's our second ever right on. Number 2. Nice. Watch, the other one was Mike too. If it is, then I'm gonna have to have a talk with Mike. He might be Googling these or something. I don't know. But that wraps up Guess the Price. We're good.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
I talk about it now? Okay, good. I didn't know if we had an intro.
No intro yet. You got to explain the rules.
All right. So we're going to introduce the Spindle Spin, and then we're going to move on to our next segment. So you have time to enter. So the Spindle Spin. Eric's saying, just describe it already, Andy. So to enter, what you need to do is put hashtag Andy Bird Builds in the chat. Andy Bird Builds. Hashtag, make sure all one thing. Hashtag Andy Bird Builds. And that will automatically enter you into the drawing. So what we're going to do is we're going to, and you'll see it all up on screen. We're going to draw one person's name, and that person gets a spin on the Spindle Spin. So the Spindle Spin, just in case you don't remember, we have everything from loser, where they win nothing, all the way up to free access. Where's it at? Here it is. Free access to the CNC Side Hustle course. And yes, the CNC Side Hustle course is valued at almost $5,000 with all of the group coaching videos in there, the almost 100 project files, plus the course that's over 10 hours long, the CNC Side Hustle course. So it is a big prize that someone can win. So you can win nothing, or you can win the CNC Side Hustle. We've got a lot of other things too, as well as a 30-minute coaching call with me, win a project file, and win a router bit. And what do we got here? One more. We've got one where everyone wins. Everyone wins a project file. And so we'll deal with that madness, and we'll have Miranda, our administrative assistant, take care of that madness. If she's watching this, forgive me, Miranda. So that's what we're going to do. So is it open now, Eric? All right, it's open now. So go ahead and enter by putting hashtag Andy Bird Builds in the chat.
Yeah, we've already got like 28 people who are already in.
Good.
I started before you start talking. So.
All right. And go ahead and enter. You can only enter once. Oh, you know what? I mentioned this in the intro, but you have to be present to win. All right. If we randomly draw a name, so if you got to go to the bathroom, you've got about 5 minutes before we draw a name. So go now, because when we draw a name, you got to be present to win.
Just take your phone into the bathroom. Let's be honest with you.
You do that?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm watching something.
Yeah. Let us know if you're watching from the toilet. Okay. Bonus points. All right. Let's head to our new segment, Trendy Trends. Welcome to Trendy Trends, the new segment where we talk about current CNC product trends. This is all inspired by, like I said, longtime member, community member, B from B's Boards. And we used to do this a long time ago, like 3 years ago, once a month. We used to get together and talk about different CNC trends. So I've got 3 trends for you tonight where we're just going to explore these. They're not the 3 only trends, but they're 3 trends that caught my eye for one reason or another. And maybe you can take advantage of them. So the first trend being The first trend being, it's honestly, it's an easy one. June 15th is Father's Day. Okay. So Father's Day is coming up. So that is a current trend. If you want to make stuff for Father's Day, a huge opportunity. Eric, do you have something? My Father's Day. Oh, yes. I remember this. Okay. So a few different things with Father's Day is it's all about us dads. I'm talking about me and Eric. It's all about us. But no, it's all about dads, right? And so we need to think about items. I went on Etsy, and that's where I found it. The first thing on Etsy right now is Father's Day, Father's Day, Father's Day. And they have it broken down into 8 different categories. And it's Father's Day's gifts for under $75, barbecue Father's Day gifts, like all these different things. And I hate, that's a strong word. I hate recommending to cutting boards. But this is one of the times of the year that it's okay. You know, you think about dad and you think about an engraved. I would love, honestly, I don't have a like barbecue cutting board engraved with, you know, dad on it and then my kids' names. That would be so cool. Maybe I should make myself one. But think about different items, you know, even the price item, the pricing game that we just played. Think about that golf item. Think about the what was the other? There was another Father's Day one.
The beard comb to me. I mean,
the beard comb. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Dads have beards.
Dads have beards. The beard comb. So Father's Day is a current right now trend. A lot of different trendy items, and I think we can take advantage of that. All right. So number 2, getting a little more interesting. Not as easy, low hanging fruit. And this is something that I've been wanting to get into for a long time. Are wall art panels. Now, hear me out. I've got a picture here. So wall paneling. You remember back in like the 80s when wall paneling was like a big deal. Now people rip wall paneling off the walls. They're like who puts wood on their walls, right? Well, it's coming back. But not just the old flat wall panels, but different geometric shapes, different. You see this one to the right here on this picture where that totally made out of some high-end Baltic birch. And then you see on the far wall, you see these different panels on the wall. So the thing with CNC is you can put texture on them. You know, you could put, what's that word? I just forgot that word. The beading. There we go. You could do MDF and use a bead end mill and put some really cool beading. You can, like I said, do geometric shapes. You can, engrave. You can engrave something in it. But the trend that I found, I think this was on like Better Homes and Gardens for 2025, was it's all about that feeling. It's all about that feeling of bringing the outside indoors, right? The nature feel of just relaxing. It's just a relaxing tone. And with CNCs, we have a unique opportunity. Whereas before, you know, this would only be done in commercial applications. But we could do smaller panels. We could do, if you got a bigger machine, you could do bigger panels. But I thought this was a really cool idea and definitely trendy. All right. The last one that I found was words. I forgot where I found this. It might have been Google Trends or something along those lines. But words. And I think we overlook words. This sounds weird. But think of funny, inspirational, sarcastic words or sayings. Our lives are filled with them. And a trend, an ongoing trend, this isn't like brand new, but some of the trend, the words are not new, right? If you didn't know that, words aren't new. But the particular words and sayings can be trendy. And so I found this picture right here of these. These are the good old days. And so words make us feel something once again, and it lifts up our room, our living spaces, and it makes us feel a certain way. So one thing I kind of extrapolated from this was, what about t-shirts? Everybody wears t-shirts that say something. Not me. I hate t-shirts that say something, actually. But a lot of people wear t-shirts that have a saying or have something funny or have something serious, anything. Wall signs are the same exact way. So what if we went, and I actually did this, what if we went onto Etsy and there is a massive, massive section for like funny t-shirts, inspirational t-shirts. You can get one-of-a-kind t-shirts. And we use those t-shirt ideas to make really sweet wall signs. What do you think about that idea, Eric?
Yeah, that's a good one. Or you could do, we did coffee mugs earlier this week. You remember that? Like
We
looking
did.
looking for like funny sayings
Coffee
on
mugs.
coffee mugs.
That's where this came from.
Right.
So that's where coffee makes me poop comes from.
Hey, that's got words on it too.
Words. So you can find some trendy, there's ideas that come to mind. There's political ideas that come to mind. There are pop culture trendy ideas that come to mind. And a lot of different older trends, newer trends. And I think that can be really cool. I think CNC sign making is, a lot of people do it, but I think there's room for someone to do it like really well. Like, I'm just talking about wall signs. Like, everybody does name signs and personalized signs, but I'm thinking of some like really cool signs. Yeah. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. So there's no doubt that us with CNCs, we are well positioned. Like, I think we lose track of this. We have the production capability of the crazy production capability to make things on our CNC in our garages, and we have access to these ideas and markets. So I recommend that do a Google search, look at Father's Day trends, look at wall art panel trends, and look for funny word sayings that are trendy. And I think there's a great opportunity there for some sales. So Eric is yelling at me with his whiteboard. Is that even a thing? Can you yell at someone with a whiteboard?
No, but I could have just said it, I guess.
So we need rapid fire questions. I didn't mention this in the intro, but we don't answer questions around here until the very end. And so get your rapid fire questions in. If there's anything in your mind that you're like, oh, I wonder how he did that, or what is he talking about, or he's wrong, that's fine too. Even if it has to do with my projects up here. R2D2 graced us with his presence again. Anything business related, CNC business related, CNC side hustle related, drop those questions in the chat, and I'm going to be in the hot seat, and you can roast me. Is that a thing?
Roast is where they make fun of you. You want questions.
Don't roast me. Don't roast me. Just ask me questions. All right, but now it's time for the Spindle Spin. Where one lucky winner could win something or nothing. Eric cut me off, but welcome to the Spindle Spin. All right, last call. We'll wait 1 minute here. I'm going to take a drink of water. Last call. Andy Bird builds, hashtag Andy Bird builds. All one word. All right. Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Today we have 34 entries, and we're off and running.
Here we go. Who's going to get a spin on the Spindle Spin? You must be present to win. Alex Michaels. Alex Michaels. Are you in the house? All right. Alex, you got 1 minute. You're on the clock. All right, while we're waiting for Alex Michaels, is he here?
He's here.
Woohoo! Hey, Alex, congratulations. You didn't win anything yet. But let's get R2D2 out of the way here. You have a chance to win some really cool prizes. All right, let's see here. Yeah, get that out of the way, Eric. There we go. All right, here we go. Imagine this being Alex's hand. And Alex, all right, we ready, Eric?
We're ready.
All right, here we go. A 30-minute coaching call with me. Congratulations, Alex. To collect your prize, you just need to reach out to support@andybirdbuilds.com, and we will get you scheduled for that. We can talk about anything you want to. CNC Side Hustles. Yeah. So CNC Side Hustle coaching call. Half an hour. I can't wait to meet you. Reach out to support, and we will get you scheduled for that. So thank you, everybody, for playing. But we're not done yet. We're not done yet. We've got segment 4, the rapid fire Q&A. All right, welcome to Rapid Fire Q&A. My seat is on fire, and I'm on the hot seat. So, do we need more questions? Are we good?
Yeah, we got a few. We could use some more if anyone got
All
a
right,
question.
anybody got? If you want to pepper me with a question, go ahead and get it in the chat. Paul is curating these questions for me. So let's see. Serve them up.
Okay, here we go. First question.
Greg says, "Does the class cover Carbide Create?" Whew. All right. Yes, it does include Carbide Create. More details to come. It's not a Carbide Create class, but Carbide Create is used. Great question. He's talking about CNC Kickstart. If you've just got here, the CNC Kickstart is coming summer 2025. Man, that hurts my voice. All right, Barry. Barry says, what inlay method settings are you using? All right. So I did all of these in Vectric VCarve Pro. And settings are, so we're using, where do I start? This is a very big question, but we're using, for the first 3, I use the VCarve inlay tool, which is pretty cool from Vectric. Makes things pretty easy. The one that I did with Browenwood, I had them in the shop with this one. We did this one the kind of the old-fashioned way, the VCarve way, without the VCarve inlay tool, just VCarving. So that one was a little more manual. We are doing, all of these are face grain. Now, if you all don't know the difference between face grain inlays and end grain inlays, there is a massive, massive difference. So face grain inlays, this is just face grain wood, right? And all of the wood grain is running perpendicular to the bit. So it's sitting like this, the bit's carving like this, and chip out is very, very possible, especially when you're using soft maple, something like this. So there's a lot of different strategies that I learned from Browenwood this week about that. Where in end grain, so if we cut this board, flipped it on its end, flipped those pieces on their end, and where the end grain was pointing towards us, so picture it like this, right? And we're carving this grain. The wood grain is facing, is parallel to the CNC router bit, and you get a lot less chip out. Now we're talking about very, very good inlays here. We're not going for, like, there is a lot of gaps in this. You can't see that. It's good from far and far from good. So we're going for perfect inlays, and that's kind of been my goal. Bro in Wood quality inlays, which if you've never seen his work, check out Bro in Wood YouTube channel or on Instagram. It'll blow your mind. Next question. Ron, what are your thoughts on Carbide Create versus Vectric Pro? Great question, Ron. I think they're both great. I recommend them both. Carbide Create, I've used them both. So my personal journey is I use Carbide Create solely for the first 3 years, and I have used Vectric the last 4 years now. Then, 4 years, and bouncing back and forth to Carbide Create. Both very intuitive softwares. Uh, Vectric Pro is the Ferrari. Carbide Create is the Ford Taurus. Both will get you to point A to point B. But what I have learned, and I actually said this today in a video, is all roads lead to Vectric. My observation over the past 7 years is all roads lead to Vectric. And there's Vectric is VCarve Pro. They have different levels. It just blows every other software out of the water. Yes, it just does. So that's my opinion in my experience. Hope that helps. All right, Daryl, what do you think someone should focus on, craft sales or online? Not ignoring the other, though. Okay, yeah. So what should be your main focus? Well, it depends really on your goals, but it also depends. A lot of people don't talk about your strengths and your weaknesses. What do you like to do? Do you like to talk to people face to face? Do you not like to talk to people face to face? Do you, what are your financial goals? What is your time commitment? So what I recommend is, if you're going to do craft fairs, you absolutely have to do your research. Don't sign up just for every event that is in town. There are some horrible, not horrible. That's the wrong word. There are some terrible event organizers out there that don't promote their event, and you spend all this time and all this energy and no one shows up. So I would definitely make sure that there is foot traffic. I would definitely make sure the event is established. And I would honestly, if I was just starting out, make sure it was indoors, because weather is a factor as well. Now, online sales, traffic is the issue with online sales. And you're waiting for people to come to you rather than going to them. So what we see end up playing out here is that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what your sales strategy is. If you passively approach any of these sales strategies or sales channels, you will get passive results. If you are intentional and try to get better every time, you will get intentional results. So keep that in mind. No matter which one you're going in, go into it, learn what you can, and you'll have good results. All right, let's hit the next one. Ron, hit me up again. Thoughts about sharpening CNC bits? Don't do it. It's not worth the money. Maybe some very, very high-end bits. If you're doing it yourself and it's a hobby, sure, go for it. But I wouldn't pay to do it. It's not cost effective. Welcome from Japan. We got I'm gonna say Kudo. Kaziakuro. I love that name. I probably slaughtered it. Forgive me. I have well intentions. In Japan, CNC is not the common thing in woodworking space, especially for small business. What are you doing if you are moving to that kind of country to start a CNC journey again from scratch? Ooh. Okay, I've never been asked this question before. First thing I would do is I would network. And I would be very outgoing, and I would look up woodworkers in the area that I was going, and I would start. I would ask them if I could buy them a meal. I would ask them if I could buy them a cup of coffee, and just to network. And if I could help them in any way, people like helping people. And if you tell them what you're doing and what your plan, what your goal is, with a genuine approach, I think it can only benefit them and benefit you. So I would look for a local network of woodworkers. GDS Woodcraft says, how do you find the top paying customers among the ones hunting for bottom dollar prices? One, you create something that they want. And two, you charge a lot of money for it. I think that's the key. People that pay a lot of money, they will willingly pay a lot of money for you to solve a problem for them, and solve it well and solve it quickly. So it's just a matter of finding what they value, and because low-paying customers and high-paying customers value two different things. And so we need to think through that scenario, and let our actions follow accordingly. All right. Hey, Steve. Steve asks, can you describe the relationship or need of a post processor when using Carbide Create to generate G-code for an off-brand CNC router? Okay. So I don't. The trick here is Carbide Create is a Carbide 3D product. And I'm not going to speak to it because I know they've changed it recently in the last little bit about being able. So you can design in Carbide Create, and you can do everything, but you can't export the G code for a different machine other than a Shapeoko without paying. You have to have Carbide Create Pro. I believe this is, again, I haven't revisited this in a little while because I haven't ran into this scenario. But yeah, but I would look into that. There's something at play there. They've locked down in their software. So it used to be free, and kind of open, community sourced, open source. I don't know if it's the right tech term, but where anybody could use it. And then there were some major players, their competitors were using it, or users with competitor machines were using it. So they locked it down. And now, if you want to do that, I believe you have to pay for it. So Dennis, can you recommend a decent CNC drag knife at a reasonable price? I want to cut my own mailing boxes for my products. I don't have a ton of knowledge here, but I would recommend Tools Today. Tools Today has a lot of different accessories, and I'm sure you can find one there. I've seen some of their videos using a drag knife. So the other option is IDC Woodcraft. Check their website. I believe Garrett has a drag knife on his website. So idcwoodcraft.com. Those are the two places I would look. All right, made for Andy. When you going to start rotary access projects? We talked about this today too. Never. No. It's just, honestly, I don't know. There's not a project. Okay, to answer your question directly, when I find a project that I really want to make and it requires it, I just haven't found that yet. Like, I've seen some cool things out there, but I'm just like, I don't know. I haven't found that one project where it's worth jumping in and learning.
Okay, we've got our last question of the night, unless one pops up during you answering it.
All right. Last question here, Kevin. What's up, Kevin? When you used the V12 inlay, did you use TBN? Did you use a TBN? If so, did you enter the angle different? TBN is not popping in my head. Did you use a TBN? Ball nose. That's what I'm guessing. Ball nose. Tapered ball nose. There we go. I got it.
Kevin says tapered ball nose.
I figured it out. Good job, Kev. Thanks. Yes. Did you use a tapered ball nose? If so, did you enter the angle different? No, we did all V-bit inlays. So we used, I started with a 60-degree. Don't recommend it. 60-degree V-bit. This was a 60-degree V-bit. This was a 30-degree V-bit. So I did not use a tapered ball nose at all. So I can't really speak to it there. V-bits are the way to go. V-carve inlay. 30-degree. I would recommend a 30-degree. My friend Nick Browenwood uses maybe a 15-degree. I believe it's a 15-degree, a monobit. And but 60 is too big, especially for face grain. So 30 degrees is the way to go. All right. Do we have any? Was that the last question? Sweet. Great questions tonight. We've got a couple more things. Don't go anywhere. Trying to get that to stand. All right. We've got a few channel members to thank. Channel members, if you didn't, channel members help make this show possible. We put a lot of time and effort into planning this. You can see my 4-page script right here. We actually do. Eric spends a ton of time on the graphics and everything. So we greatly appreciate your support in this way. Our current channel members are Johnny Gardner, Technotan Australia, David Mercer, Monte Jones, Aaron Newton, Earl Mahaffey, Net News Ledger, Roland Glidden, Randall Jenkins, Pineapples Barbecue and Woodworking, and Bradley Custom Designs. If you want to become a channel member and etch your name on the channel member wall forever, because yes, you can come back and watch this. People watch this a year from now. You can do that right below. Thank you so much for your support, channel members. It's greatly appreciated. So what a show. We did the Spindle Spin. We gave away a 30-minute coaching call.
That's right. Alex was our winner.
That's right. Good job, Alex. He's like, I didn't do anything other than type #AndyBirdBuilds. But you were here. And that's what matters. And we appreciate everyone that was here tonight. So we did Trendy Trends. Let us know what you think about Trendy Trends and Tool of the Week. Don't forget our Tool of the Week. Man, I hope this show, I hope it was a great time. It's a time to relax, time to learn something new, but time to get fired up. So now, as always, it's your turn to go fire up that CNC. Words are hard. Fire up that CNC, head out to the shop, and make something cool. We'll see you next time.